Day 2 reflections. So this is a reset, and I've done journeys like this before, right? I've done, I think I started 75 hard this, the beginning of the year. I want to say like 50 days in, and then I got hit with the bug. So I ended up stopping it. But I learned some valuable lessons from it. One of them, water. If you're going to fast, or really if you're going to get into any sort of health reset, fitness, nutrition plan, make this a priority. That plan, the 75 hard, it called for a gallon of water. I'm just drinking 5 of these, and I'm including what I actually pour to make my biolatte coffees and green tea. So I have chosen for, I don't know, I don't actually have a certain amount of days. I'm just going to do this as a lifestyle, and maybe hopefully I create something that sticks forever, because to me, the end game in all of this, and part of the title that you got from this live, is mental health. I freaking love fasting because it is like it is the ultimate biohack for mental clarity, acuity, and focus. You know, everybody's looking for a quick fix, whether it be medication, ADHD, pharmaceuticals, or some sort of nootropic, et cetera, et cetera. I really, in my own personal opinion, don't think there is really any. I think fasting will do that for you naturally, because now you're actually having to focus on the task at hand, on the goals that you have set yourself before you for that day. So we've been programmed, indoctrinated really, to think that we need to eat from the moment we wake up till the time we go to bed, and that is actually false. You really don't need to eat every day. You know, can you? Yeah, I mean, ultimately we know intermittent fasting is healthy, but I would venture to say that most people, most human beings on this planet don't need to eat more than 1 time a day, if that. And maybe if you're someone who's extremely active, training twice a day, do you need to eat 2 meals? Maybe. I could probably argue and show you exceptions to only that as well, and extreme level athletes. So it does come down to how you make sure that that meal that you do have is rich in nutrients and minerals and vitamins. And I am absolutely convinced that the industry today makes you addicted to certain foods, and that the ultimate FU is the carnivore diet, really. I mean, and you can go even a step further. The ultimate FU would be basically looking at Vince Garanda back in the 80s, and he was training some of the, prominent bodybuilders, including Arnold Schwarzenegger at the time. And, he'd be putting these guys on steak and egg diets. Literally steak and eggs. The most complete food, nutrient-rich group that you could eat together, because the combination of the amino acid profile and the nutrients that you get is like a natural hormone, optimizes your hormones, your testosterone, your human growth hormone for guys that are trying to put on muscle, and actually just shreds you. So it gives you all the nutrients you need. And I've done that. And some of the best times in my life, both for mental clarity and just removing all inflammation, has been on like that simple, right? And then, I've been kind of in this new journey that I'm doing. I'm going to try to do this. It's 442. And you got to make it a lifestyle. So what's made it a lifestyle to me? I use this biolatte Italian coffee maker. It's almost like straight espresso. I'm using this level ground Ethiopian bean. It's an espresso bean. I have 2 of those a day, and I have 2 tablespoons, or probably tablespoons, maybe less, a couple teaspoons, I should say, in each cup of matcha green tea powder that I have with hot water. And I'm using 5 of these a day to drink. So that's my biohack for my fast. I'm also trying to get outside and walk at least 45 minutes to an hour would be ideal. I don't pretend that I could sustain that forever, but you probably could, even with a family, right? I have 4 children, and right now they're not in my life at this moment in time, so I have a little bit more time, but this is also when you can create good habits. So I will say, walking, getting outside. I'm going to move here shortly. I will go back live and just work out. Do I have any agenda? Absolutely not. You can see a pull-up bar behind me, a heavy bag. I've got rings. I got the X3 system, which is a variable resistance band training. I will move. In how many sets and repetitions, I don't know. I'm just going to move. Again, I did this for a living. So I used to be a personal trainer. I used to coach. I used to teach CrossFit. I used to actually compete. I played collegiate ball and semi-pro. All this is just in me at this point. It's not, I don't even have to think about it anymore. It's just part of who I am. It's part of my DNA. So I don't, I train more for the mental health. All this comes down to mental health. I'm not trying to add muscle. I'm trying to remove inflammation from my body. I don't have a certain body fat percentage that I have in mind. I just want to optimize my genetic expression. So as long as I mentally feel amazing, that clear and led, that I can be tuned into things of what I believe are the kingdom, or what God's word is truly trying to teach us through Jesus, through Yeshua. That to me, that response to his word as an outward expression of the fruit in our life, that is a lifestyle that I want to be able to pursue and offer my body, as Romans 12 says, as a living sacrifice. Do not conform to the standards of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of the mind. So how do you do that? Well, it's the opposite of what the world tells you to do. The world says, fill that fleshly desire. Wake up and scroll with your phone. The world says, eat from the moment you wake up. Have the coffee first. No, eat your daily bread first, which is the word, right? Get into the word. Yeah, sure, you can prepare it. What I do is I drink one of these. I sit down at the table. I open up the word, and my day starts that. I read from a Psalms. I read from a Proverbs. I read from, right now, in the book of Mark, but I did that through Matthew. I'm into Mark. I'll move into Luke, John, Acts, as I go through the entire New Testament, one chapter at a time. I think we overdo it. Yeah, like this whole idea, if you have to do it all in a year or so forth. Yeah, great. But if you can't read, the problem with that is if you just read it as a check, then how do you ever allow that to go from the head to the heart, right? And how do you allow that to change your life? So there is, I think, a combination of that. Reading out loud, right? Reading out loud is a really good thing. You're going to see me doing moving forward is reading out loud, and or reading my reflections out loud. So I will read it out loud first and foremost. I will use something like a highlighter, and then I will reflect on what I learned for that day. And I think that, and then the art of reflection is important. Discipline, by the way, temperance is a fruit of the Spirit. What is the fruit of, you look at people in their life and the discipline a lot of the time. Well, remember, temperance is, that is a fruit, right? Self-control is a fruit. So yeah, you can use it the wrong way, and it becomes almost an idol, and then all of a sudden it's all about aesthetics and how you look, and pride, which comes before the fall, comes out of that. But the truth is, if you will know them by their fruit. I am just somebody has always been this way, and I'm trying to take this way God made me, this all or nothing nature that I have, and offer it as a living sacrifice, so that, hey, I understand myself. I also understand what those thorns are in my life, or those things that when I do them, they create a domino of decisions that aren't necessarily healthy for me. Okay? So that is the art of knowing yourself. I cannot tell you what to do. You have to figure that out for yourself. I can just show you through my own example what works for me, but I will never say this is what you should do. I'm saying this is what I do, and I'm at a place in my life where I am not going to try to explain or justify why I do it the way I do it. It's just the way that I know works for me. Doesn't necessarily say it's going to work for you. You may be someone who needs to start your day a certain way. You are a night person, or you need more moderation and balance, and et cetera, et cetera. Like, hey, awesome. As long as you feel like you're being led to be the best version of yourself in the way that you connect vertically with God, creator, your source, and the way you represent his love to people, and how you actually learn to love yourself. Because I've seen and witnessed a lot in my life now, people that are really good at loving and being a force to other people in their lives, but they don't know how to love themselves, and that is a scary thing to witness as well. So if you don't know how to love yourself and take that place for yourself to actually see yourself as the way God sees you, as a child of God, as a son, as a daughter, as royalty essentially, because you are a new creation, then you're not going to be able to actually love others, because you have to first put, as the plane goes down, the mask on yourself. And that's a big part of this is having that. It's a humbling experience to learn how to love yourself and to love others, and it all comes from that vertical connection that you have with God, and it all comes from the meditation of those thoughts, right? You have to learn how to hold those thoughts captive, and you have to have an absolute truth inside of that. And for me, the truth is, Jesus says, ultimately, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. He also says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. So his word is the lamp to my feet. His word is the light to my path. His word, ultimately, as Jesus said, is like, man shall not live on bread alone, but every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God, which is the scriptures, right? Inspired by the Holy Spirit. So with that being said, this is my journey. This is only day 2, but what I will tell you is I already feel amazing. Am I open to other interventions? Yes, I am looking into things right now. Things that most people in the quote unquote church world would say, oh, if you do that, then you are blank. No. God gave us this incredible world and all the things that grow in it, okay? I'm not saying anything, because you got to ultimately know, you will know, the Spirit will lead you. Like, I always tell people this. If there's something that you put in your body that starts messing with the mind in such a way where you are being attacked, that thing is not meant to be in your body. Let's just put it that way, okay? Because I don't think he would ever give you something that you're supposed to take that would actually make you think fear, anxiety, and thoughts that are away from love and source, and connection and authenticity and all that is good, righteous, and pure in this world. I don't think he would offer that experience. So anyways, I'll leave you with that. That is my reflections for today, day 2. You could go back to my morning. I have a video devotional that I do. It's always less than 5 minutes. And if you have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out to me. This is, sometimes I feel like I'm just preaching to myself, but it's in the way of accountability, but hopefully it blesses you at the same time. All right, seek first the kingdom, and if you have any questions, let me know.